My name is Reynaldo Mota. I'm a Senior Associate of Data Meanings Training and Enablement team. It is a pleasure to be here virtually with you. Today, I'm going to show you how to use a powerful text classification tool in Alteryx Designer, and I will use a real use case I worked on some months ago. This use case is from a Brazilian accounting startup where data specialists developed a algorithm to classify tickets that were previously uncategorized. The algorithm had a significant impact on the customer service team, who were struggling with the fact that some tickets were not categorized by the customers, making it difficult for analysts to know which department should handle the inquiry. This resulted in time-consuming and often delayed responses to the clients. To train the algorithm, the data specialist used 5,500 tickets for each previously classified category, and after the algorithm was implemented, it successfully classified over 100,000 uncategorized tickets. Also, the algorithm significantly reduced the time it took for the team lead to divide the tickets among the analysts, because previously the uncategorized tickets required additional time to read and assign. So after the new algorithm automated the classification process and also allowed the team to respond more quickly and accurately to customer inquiries. The project demonstrated how data analysis and automation can have a positive impact on companies' performance and competitiveness in the market. All right. I will start here. Let me just open Alteryx Designer. I'll make this transition a little bit better. Okay, so I will start by importing a customer complaint data set that I used as an example that I got from Kaggle, right? So this is a JSON format. This data set contains various fields such as complaint ID, complaint text, product type, and so on. Okay. Once I have this data set in Alteryx Designer, I will perform several data preparation steps to clean and transform the data. We know Alteryx Designer is well known for its powerful data cleansing features, which enable users to easily remove duplicates, fill in missing values, and correct constant data. This is an important step to ensure that the data is constant and relevant for our text classification task. Okay. For this first example, I'm going to use and to demonstrate how powerful is this new tool that Alteryx is releasing. I will compare it to my Python code for text classification, right? Which involves many lines of code and often produces errors. By contrast, the Alteryx Designer tool simplifies the entire process and delivers faster and more accurate results, right? So I have here, after all the data preparation steps, I am creating my own samples. I am splitting the dataset into test and validation. And after that, I'm using a Python code here with all the codes I created for my use case. All right, so let's just load them. So as you can see here on the left, I have all my codes that I used in order to get all the data preparation in Python. All the steps, tokenization, text preparation, creating the model, training the model, getting the accuracy, and so on. And finally, using my validation data set to actually use the model, right? So first, I used all of these Python codes in order to have a final classification. Now, let's talk about the text classification tool in Alteryx Designer. These tools, let me just bring it here, are part of the 22.1 version. So 22.1 version. And I'm basically here replacing all of my Python codes with only 1, 2, 3 tools in Alteryx. All right. The idea here, guys, is that I am using the same output file that I used before I am exporting this in this step. Okay, so after my data preparation steps, so I'm loading this in here. Of course, I don't want to copy and paste the same part, the same workflow. Then instead of using a Python code to do all the cleanup about data, about stop words cleaning, I'm using this tool right here called text preprocessing. With this tool, I am able to filter digits, filter punctuation, and stop words, and also prepare one additional stop words by myself. I'm also able to do a text normalization and convert my word root, so lemmatize the words I have. Afterwards, I'm creating my samples, data validation, data testing, and etc. And finally, with this tool here called text classification, I am creating my model, my classification model. I'm building my model. So instead of using multiple code lines, I'm using here only which is my column with my text, which is the column with the labels, the same for the validation. And here I am selecting one algorithm, multinomial naive Bayes, linear, SVC. There's also the auto mode, auto tune option. Here is more about validation. So I'm doing the cross validation. I can select all the options. And this tool specifically will output my model, my classification model, and also the results. So here I have some statistics about what have been generated by the model, right? And finally, with the predict tool, I just need to input my model that I just created previously, along with my classification, my validation data. And finally, I'll be able to see my final results on this browse tool. So this way, guys, is pretty straightforward in comparison to the previous Python codes, right? So instead of using lots of Python codes that can drive me to some errors, can drive me to long preparation steps in terms of preparing the model, preparing the way the data needs to be in order to use one specific algorithm in Python. In here, by using only two tools, I'm able to have my model, and finally predict my values. Okay. So guys, thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you're enjoying the event. See you another time. Bye bye.